I mean, it's an amazing thing, really, what you do to learn from milk, isn't it? About
Absolutely
the animal,
amazing.
really. You wouldn't
Absolutely
think
amazing.
an animal could tell you so much just from the milk.
No.
Oh, it's early. It's 5:30 in the morning. I'm about to go and get the cows in. Can you hear that rain? It's chucking it down. Can't really see, can you? It's so dark. It is wet, wet, wet on the cobbles. Not cobbles, flagstone. Yeah. So, gonna get the cows in for milking, but this morning we got someone with us. We got Juliet from NMR, National Milk Records, who's come in over to do sampling. I've never filmed this before, so I thought it'd be interesting for you to have a quick look at. She's going to take little sample pots, and they'll go off to a lab, and they're analyse it. She takes a sample from each cow, and they check it out for various things in the milk. I'm going to let her tell us more about it, but that's what's happening this morning. So, brave, out into the rain. Here we go. And I can see Juliet's here. See the van over there, shining the torch on it. We'll have a chat with her. She's an early riser. That's the thing about National Milk Records. If you've got to work for them, you've got to be a good early riser. Look, there we are in the dark. NMR. NMR. Go on. Hey. Come on. Go on. Hey, Juliet's walking off into the dark now, but I'm just going to follow her. I can't actually see. It's really dark. Look, she's just behind. I might wait till she comes out. We'll have a chat with her in a minute when she gets into the parlour. Right. Oh, hang on. I just got to go and get my coffee. Farmer Coffee Gold Blend. That's the only one I like. I've tried every flipping sort of coffee. There's loads of these fake ones and stuff, and that's the only one I've stuck with now. Anyway, look. Typical farmer workshop. Full of junk and a Mankey kettle. And probably the most important tool here is the Mankey kettle because it keeps me going early. I'm going to have this. We'll get some milk from it from the cows. Juliet's going to be taking samples from the cows. You'll see how she does it in a minute. It's quite interesting. Little pots. When I finish milking, the jars, I let a bit of milk go and it comes out through the tap. Same tap as my coffee. I got my coffee and we got superstar Juliet. Look, she's actually, let me just tell you this before we introduce you to Juliet. She stood on a milk crate. Juliet, right. So, tell us a little about yourself and what you're about to do today.
I'm about to do the milk sampling for the Cornox.
Yeah.
So we can send the milk off to be tested at the lab.
So, you've got experience with farming all your life, really, haven't you?
I have, yes.
Yeah, you're a local girl, really, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Girl, that's
Girl,
very kind.
I like that. But how long have you been working for NMR now?
Full time for nearly 2 years.
Right, but you've been with them before that.
Before that, I've been with them about 15 years.
Yeah, I know you. You're. What do you do? Cover the area now, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Area coordinator.
Well done. That sounds good. So let's talk about what we're doing today. You've got a sticker on there, so we remind ourselves when it is. Yeah. So you're taking these jars out.
I'm taking these jars
Tell
out.
us about these little sample jars. They're one per cow, aren't they?
One per cow. I will put the cow's number on the top of the jar.
Yeah.
And then we'll put this morning's milk in.
Yeah.
And then we'll do another sample this afternoon.
Yeah.
So we've got a 24-hour sample for each cow.
So in that jar, if you lift one up, they've got a little bit of blue. Tell us about the
That's
blue.
some preservative to keep the milk from curdling.
Right, so you're basically preserving that until it gets to the lab.
Yeah, it can stay in the pot for about a week, but we usually say 24 hours and it goes back to the lab.
Right, and where are the labs?
The labs are at Four Ashes, which is Wolverhampton.
Right, okay. So that's got to be couriered up to there.
That will go by van up to Wolverhampton tomorrow.
Right, and so people don't realise what these samples are for. Why are you sampling, and what are you sampling for?
All
testing
sorts
for?
of things.
So what are the all sorts?
Cell count, fat, all sorts.
Yeah, and
You can even sample to see if the cow's pregnant.
can you? Right, and once this is samples, remind people what happens then. We get stuff back, don't we?
You get the results back.
And how does a farmer look at those?
You can look at them in various ways, either on a sheet of paper or online.
Yeah.
on Herd Companion.
And the idea for us is so when we can't tell all this stuff. So I don't know the fat content of an individual cow's milk. I don't know the cell count. Cell count is sort of an indicator of the health of the udder, really, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Various other things. Oh, in fact, there's some data sheets here. I think my brother's left out. Actually, there is a drying off guide there. I think that's come from you guys. All sorts of information come to us, which we wouldn't sort of necessarily know ourselves. Certainly, we couldn't sample the milk ourselves. So we pay a monthly fee for this to be done, don't we?
Yes.
And then lovely Juliet comes and tells us a few stories. We have a bit of a laugh, and we get the milk samples. Let's get the milk samples now. We'll have another little catch up in a minute. Early start for me and Juliet. Not as early as some farmers though, I'm sure. Right. Right, so you've got labelled up your pots, and then you're going to jump in a minute. Do you enjoy this job then, Julia?
I love this job.
So it's not for everyone, isn't it? You like early starts.
I like early mornings. Get up 5:30 every morning anyway.
What else do you like about it though?
Meeting the farmers.
Is it?
Yeah.
You have a bit of a laugh, don't you?
A bit of a laugh with the farm.
It's always, do you know what? It's always nice to see you when you come to the farm. Whoop. I almost kick the unit off. They're a bit twitchy, they want a bit more cake. I better concentrate on the job. Right, so before we were rudely interrupted by that naughty cow kicking the unit off there, I was just saying, you quite enjoy doing this, don't you?
Yes, I do, yeah.
So what's the best aspect of the job and the worst aspect, do you reckon?
Worst aspect is getting poo all over you.
Yeah.
That's absolutely the worst.
Yeah.
And the best, the nice farmers.
Farmers.
Okay.
It is, I mean, it's always good, like I was saying it just now, to have extra people on the farm and stuff. And also, we get a little bit of insight of what's going on with the other farmers and everything like that. Hear a bit of
gossip,
background. Yeah. But also just the actual practical side of farming. You say, oh, such is trying this and stuff. We're nearly done now. I've got some cows that are finished. Look, they're at the end of their milking. Juliet's going to take a sample in a minute. I've just got to take the units off and then we'll see what you do. Oi, cheeky. I want my coffee as well. Okay, Juliet, not only is she an ace milk recorder, but she's also in charge of filming at the moment, so I can't do it all at once. Right. So, I'm going to let the cow go. Juliet's going to actually take the sample, ready to send off. Right, normally this is where I mess up, so I let the milk go and forget that Juliet's taken the sample. So here we go. And you've got to agitate it a bit first, haven't you, to make sure it's an even mix. Right. Very simple system this. So you've got your milk sample, and then you put it in the pot. So on the other parlours, you don't do it like this. So you have a have a sampling jar or something. How does it work?
We have different sample jars in all different parlours.
And in the robotic parlour, you've got a completely different setup. You put the trays in, don't you?
We have what we call a shuttle in a robot parlour, where you fill all the trays up.
Yeah.
And then you put it in, and it samples every cow that comes through.
Right.
And then you get the numbers off of the computer.
So this one's quite easy, isn't it? Because you can just fill up.
This is very easy. This is my favourite.
And I'm going to do. Hang on, I've got to ask you. I'm going to get you. Not only you sampling milk, I need you to be my coffee machine. Could you? I'll hold the cup. If you turn the lever and put the coffee on, the milk on. It's very important. Farmer gets his coffee. Look at that. Straight from it. Thank you very much. Brilliant. Right, we're going to crack on. We'll have a chat at the end. I've got some proper milking to do. Juliet's very kindly showing me what she's doing here. I'm gonna carry on milking now. I've got quite a bit to sort out. I can't really film very easily while we're doing this job together. We'll catch up at the end when she's got a tray full. At the moment, you've got just a few in a tray, haven't you? You've got to get, how many samples are we doing today?
60 plus.
Right, okay, so
I think.
we better crack on. We'll crack on. Right, well, that was this morning. Since then I've had a haircut. Look at that, that's better, isn't it? And also, Juliet's back here. She's been back this afternoon. We've just literally finished up now, haven't we?
We've just finished, yeah.
You've just done a second batch of pots, haven't you? So the second batch of pots is there, which you're going to package up in a minute. But what are we doing now then?
We're taking a bulk tank sample.
So I've got to dip this because my arms are a little bit longer than yours, aren't they? Just about.
Just a bit. You've got to make sure.
But they picked up the milk this morning, so Juliet, Juliet, just can't. You have to grow. Right, you hold that. I'm going to jump on this. What could go wrong?
You need to agitate the milk. You've got the agitator on.
All right, I better get that right. Watch what you're filming there, mind. You realise? Hang on. Juliet is on camera. Right, you're fired. Right, let's start again anyway. So I'm just going to go and agitate this. So 2-minute timer on. Where are we? So the 2-minute timer is going on to agitate that. We picked up the milk. So the milk was picked up this morning. Look, it's got so cold. It's actually frozen some of the milk on the side.
Yeah.
That's the trouble when it first cools. You can see the ice on the side.
Yeah.
But
ice cream.
Yeah. So that's been agitated. I got my little dippy pot here, which I'm going to jump in, and I'm going to jump on here and get you some milk. It's always better if you do it before the tanker picks up, isn't it?
Always better.
So right, let's just get this right. And the blue stuff is the preservative, isn't it?
Yeah, that's preservative.
So tell us what is this going for, Julia?
This is just a mean.
Right. And what are you testing for on that mean? Well,
it'll be tested the same as all the other milk. It just gives us a mean of what we got.
Of the entire tank.
Yeah.
So you'll be doing things like cell counts and stuff.
Cell counts, fats, proteins.
So that's going off with that with those pots.
That'll go in the box in the corner.
Right. Load up then, Juliet. All right, we're loading up the old NMR van here. Look at this, decoding milk data, building robust insights. This is your tagline. Do you say that all the time?
I say it all the time.
Do you?
Yes.
Go on, say it now. What does it say?
I can't say it.
I know. It's quite a mouthful, isn't it? As a catchphrase, I much prefer mine crack on than that one.
Decoding milk data, building robust insights.
That's quite a mouthful, isn't it?
It is.
I think NMR is an easy one to mention. So you got your NMR van. What happens to these samples now?
I take them up to the depot where they go on a van up to the laboratories at Four Ashes.
Right, okay.
Which is Wolverhampton.
Okay, so quite a drive up. But is that a central lab for all the milk samples?
Lab for all the milk samples.
For the whole of the UK?
Yeah.
Wow. So the NMR, it's not just for every farm. Well, every farmer can do it, but not everyone does, do they?
Not everybody does.
But it does give you a kind of a bit of an advantage, really, doesn't it, if you milk record, because you get to know what's going on with your individual cows, don't you?
Exactly. You can test for so many things now as well.
Yeah, because we're doing extra stuff. I think we're doing Jonies and stuff.
You can do Jonies, Neospora, you can do pregnancy tests, all sorts, geocells.
It's amazing what you can learn from the milk, really, isn't it?
Yeah, saves vets taking blood from the cows.
Yeah, totally. So when this goes off then, just remind people, how does the information come back to the farmer?
It can come back by email, by post, text to the mobile phone, usually the next morning. So if these are tested tonight, they'll get the information they need tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Most of it, not all of it.
So my brother looks at the data more than I do, and
it's not just about you know, the milk quality. It's also about which cow you're going to breed from, really, isn't
Yeah,
it?
very much so.
You can sort of look at the cow that's performing the best and think
Yeah.
that one's the one to put a Frisian calf on, maybe for a replacement rather than a beef animal.
Very much so.
So it's quite. I mean, it's an amazing thing, really, what you do to learn from milk, isn't it? About the
Absolutely
animal, really.
amazing.
You wouldn't
Absolutely
think
amazing.
an animal could tell you so much just from the milk,
No.
because people buy it as a bottle and just think it's something they drink, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's an indicator of the cow's health, its genetics, everything, really.
Yeah, very much so.
Well, thanks, Juliet. So Juliet came to me and she said, perhaps we ought to do Juliet's been coming here quite a long time. Your mother was a milk recorder, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was a milk recorder.
And you've
How long
been.
was she? I've been coming here for 5 years now.
Yeah. And your mum was doing it back in the 90s, I think,
Yes,
wasn't it?
yeah.
But you've been coming here a long time, and you did say to me, Rich, we ought to do a milk recording video, because I think these little bits, video like this is quite interesting, because people don't know that we do these little things like sampling a cow,
No,
do they?
No.
It's just a side of farming that probably gets ignored, but it's a very,
Very important
basic
side
and
of it.
important side of farming, isn't it?
Yes.
Anyway, well done, Juliet. See you next month,
Next
all
month,
right?
yeah.
Crack on. Don't forget to shut your van door before you drive off. Those samples will be off on the drive. Cheers, Juliet. Thank you.